when I say that men were created to lead and not to follow, but women were created to follow and not lead, and that in every family, in a business, in a company, in a whatever, it's the man that should be leading the way. Otherwise, it's not going to work. You can't have two leaders in one home. You can't have two. You can have it, but it's not going to work. Two presidents in one home or one company. There has to always be someone leading. As the Father led the Son, Christ, He led His Son. He worked through His Son. It wasn't the Son, but the Father that was leading. I have to tell you, do what you want. But I'm on this earth, and I'll refer to my country, since my country come first. The Old Testament, someone mentioned the Old Testament earlier. The Old Testament is in operation. You can't find, I'll give you a little high number. You can't find 10% of the population in America today that truly have returned to the Father and believe in the Father, know the Father. You can't find 10%. The Old Testament is alive and well upon this earth today. And it's in you as an individual, if you have not returned to the Father, and it's outside of you, inside of others. Number one, there's no love. The New Testament is about love. The greatest commandment is love. If you don't have that, and if you don't have it for all, you don't have it at all. You don't have love. You're a liar, and the truth is not in you when you say you love this one, but you don't love that one. When you say you love the blacks, but you don't love the whites. Or you love the whites, but you don't love the blacks. Or you love the Palestinians, but you don't love the Jews. Or you love the Jews, but you don't love the Palestinians. Or you love your mama, but you don't love, what's the name of that man that's supposed to have killed all the Jews a long time ago? Hitler. You love your mama, but you don't love Hitler. You love your cat, your dog, but you don't love Jeffrey Dahmer. You don't love the rapist, the robber, the murderers, the this or that, but you love somebody else. You love the good guy. You're a liar, and the truth is not in you. God loved all human beings, and He still does. He sent His only begotten Son because of that. And who are you? Just think about that. Who are you with all the hell in you and nothing but hell to think that you have the right or that you can be right and not love all? You are blind and cannot see. The Old Testament is alive and well upon this earth, and now in my country, America. And in all honesty, the Old Testament is alive and well in the Christian churches, and I don't know if the Christians have a community, but amongst the Christians, it's the Old Testament that's in operation. It's not the New at all. Because if it was the New Testament, you will have nothing but love for all and no judgment of yourself or anyone else. But you still judge yourself and you judge others. And then you make up excuses why you do it. You're of the Old Testament. You have not been born again of the Father. You have not been born again of the Father. I don't care how many Bibles you read. I don't care how many old Bibles you interpret or whatever y'all do to put all that together and think you got it. If you don't love all, you love none. And if you don't love all, you're not a representation of the truth, of God. God is the truth. In the beginning, there was the Word was God, God was with the Word, and the Word is still God. Not the Son, but the Father. Now, the Word was in the Son, and the Father and the Son are one. When you're born of the Father, you are, dummies, one with the Father, but you're not the Father, you're still the Son. The Old Testament is alive and well in the earth today, and it's growing rapidly in my country. And you haven't seen the hell that is going to come upon this earth if this continues. Here's another example and proof that the world is the Old Testament, the country, my country is the Old Testament, and nothing coming in but hell. And a few love, real love, God's love, but most don't. You are allowing and giving permission and agreeing with female leadership. You're bringing damnation upon yourself. Because through the woman, until she's born again of the Father, the gates of hell come through. And if you have not returned to the Father, then the gates of hell will prevail against you. I asked Hassan and Hake, and I think we played a soundbite earlier, of men being afraid of women. And I've never seen it so bad in my whole days, born days. But they're afraid of the gates of hell. And they don't see, so they don't understand what they're dealing with. You allow women to be. Can you imagine being married to a woman who calls herself an executive? An executive woman. That is Satan in big bloomers. And that is nothing but the gates of hell. And that's all you and your children will ever catch is hell. And that's all the employees who are under the executive will ever catch is hell. You must return to the Father. Here's an example of the gates of hell. And it's just one example. Nikki Haley running for president, it's the gates of hell. God forbid Nikki Haley should even look like this country is over. It's not in her. It's not in the women to lead. It's in the man. Why do you think you're afraid of your own mama? The gates of hell. Satan is the woman's God, whether you like it, accept it, or believe it or not. Why do you think women bring so much hell into their surrounding? And it is spread like wildfire. Here's an example of the gates of hell from TikTok. A man's mother disowns him after building a relationship with his father. Watch this from TikTok.
With your son?
I don't want to deal with you.
Your son?
I don't want to deal with you. If you want to talk to him, that's cool.
Mama,
but don't talk to me no more.
Mama, years ago.
I don't want to deal with you.
A nasty attitude,
you
woman.
You don't have to deal with him, but you don't have to. You don't want to deal with me, your own son.
No. And you look just like him. You act like him. Ugh.
See that?
Matter of fact, you really need to get out of my kitchen because I'm not ready to.
Mama.
I'm sick of it.
Mama, you want to disown your own son.
You want a relationship with your daddy?
Of course, it's my father.
Then I want to disown.
And you telling me I look just
like you. Yeah.
Mama, it's because of you. You the one that did
I can't
it.
believe I even laid with that man.
You the one that did it.
Yeah.
You the one that did it.
Yep. You know, wash all my head off anyway.
Mama.
What?
25 years ago.
Okay.
And you don't want me to have a relationship with my father?
No, I don't. So we can stop talking about this now. You bring this up every other day.
I haven't seen my daddy in 20 years, and now I want to have a relationship with him. And you got such a big problem with me knowing my father.
Why do you want to know him so bad?
Again, I didn't see him in 20 years. I want to have that child and father bond.
That's every woman on this side of heaven. That's the woman of the world, and that's the gates of hell until she returns to the Father. Women must forgive their mothers too and return to their fathers. Forgive their fathers for not protecting them from the mothers. Otherwise, you're just going to do to your children what was done to you, because that's your nature. That's all that's in you. And women, not them, but the spirit that's in them, hate the spirit of the man, because the spirit of the man is the spirit of God. And the spirit of the woman is the spirit of Satan. And that spirit hates the Son of God. And it worked through the woman to destroy the Son. The blacks, they got it bad because the spirit of the mother has turned them away from their fathers. And they worship the mama's spirit. They buy her a house. The first thing they do when they get an extra $1, they buy mama a house. Mama set up at the football game on the front row and cheer as though that's her husband out there playing ball. And she gets all the glory. Blacks to the blacks and the whites and the Jews and the Gentiles and the Allah people, the Palestine, whatever y'all call you, Muslims, the so-called black Israelite, y'all ain't going to get better until you return to the Father. Everything else is a lie. It's a lie. And you're living in your intellect. It's no different than the men and women of the Christians who believe Jesus is God and the deity, and it's just words. It just sound good. But it does nothing for them. Zero. You must be born again. You need a new heart and a new nature, which is of your Father God. That woman hates the father, and the man is yearning for his father. The girl is yearning for her father. But the mother don't want that to happen. It's not the mother, but it's the spirit in her. Women who keep children from their fathers are evil. Pure evil. Plain old evil. Ain't nothing else but that. They are the gates of hell. UnderstandingRelationship.com. Women are emotional beings, not logical ones. Watch this from TikTok.
From the nation to the sea, Palestine will be free.
From the nation to the sea.
No, from the mountains to the sea.
From the mountains to the sea.
That's what we want.
From the mountains to the sea? Yeah. Which mountains? You don't know, eh?
See? Insane. That's the gates of hell. An example of it. They have women doing weather reports. They used to have men doing the weather reports on the news. It's mostly women now. The gates of hell. You're going to live to regret, if you're not already regretting it, that you've allowed women to take over America. That you have allowed. She up there talking about from the mountain. What mountain? She quoting something that she clearly don't know what it's all about. It just sounds good. A cute little song, from the mountain to the sea. I venture to say 99.9% of the people who are out there protesting have no clue, if not 100, but definitely 99. They have no clue why they're fighting one another. Zero clue. They have listened to the gates of hell. The Old Testament is on this earth still. The New Testament is inside of you and above. It's inside of you and above. The kingdom of heaven is at hand, is right here, is right now. I give you a new kingdom. Be done with the old kingdom. It was hell. I couldn't even find 10 people who were of the Father. Oh, did they find one hate?
What?
Of the Old Testament, did they find one righteous person?
Oh. Sometimes they would find one righteous man among 1,000.
But not
one woman among them all.
Think about that. They found one righteous man among 1,000, but not one righteous woman. Think about that. And you pushing women as though they're righteous. You're letting them be preachers. You're letting them be deacons. You allow them to perform weddings. You allow them to be the head of the family. Y'all better look at the blacks and see what happened to them. That's exactly what happened to them. Nothing else. That's what happened to them. And their hearts are wicked. Except for those who have examined themselves and questioned, and they're overcoming. That stupid female just about from the mountain to the sea. And the man like, what? What mountain? And she was lost.